Dacia is going bigger with the Dacia Bigster. This one is basically a larger Duster, the bigger brother of the Duster. They are now attacking the compact SUV segment where all the best sellers are, like VW Tiguan, a Nissan Qashqai, a Honda CR-V, which is a little bit longer, Toyota RAV4 and so on. So a core segment where they haven't been there before, and they promise a good price-performance ratio and best-in-class interior space. But is that all true, and can this vehicle here succeed? We're going to find out with Thomas Nautical in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go with the all-new or first ever Dacia Bigster. In the front here, this light strip leads over to this non-light strip, just, you know, this is like a reflection area, the new Dacia logo, and this is the journey trim with a silver contrast here in the lower part. The blue color here is also new, and it's called indigo blue. It's a very beautiful color. A Thomas blue color would be a little bit brighter, but yeah, that's why I also was wearing rather indigo here with my clothes today. Then towards the side profile, the length is 4 meters 57 or 180 inches. That's about 23 centimeters or 9 inches longer than the Dacia Duster. That's why this here attacking a completely new segment. Then wheels from 17 to 19 inch. And these here, the ones you see, are the biggest ones, 19 inch. This is also interesting here, this, you know, this cladding where you can see these sparkles inside. And a little bit from the sparkle, this is called Starkle with ST. And this is a material that is highly relying on recycling material. That's also a scheme of this vehicle. They try to be more sustainable by using more recycling materials. Then you can see a big off-roadish-alike stance. There will also be an all-wheel drive version. Soon more details to the engines. Also standard roof rails here, for example. So a very likable look, very much, you know, angular, rugged look here. This is also why the Duster has been so successful, because back in the days, people were buying Dacia only for the price. But now with the Duster, with the new designs on, people also go for it because they say, hey, I just like the design and that's why I go for it. And the same they also want to achieve here with the Bigster, than the bigger brother. Towards the rear, also once again this huge sparkle element, well, sparkling elements with these dots inside, but Starkle is the material. So this once again has this very off-roadish, rugged look. Cool design detail. Also here the turning indicators here. They replaced the daytime running light. That looks pretty likable here in the front, doesn't it? Yeah, just in the rear the turning indicators are, yeah, let's say a little bit basic and also not that large. I mean, we've seen smaller ones with other vehicles, yes, but yeah, definitely more a fan of the front indicators. Let's head to the interior. Door closing sounds first. Actually quite solid. And here, integration of the rear handles. Very nice sound here when closing the door, indeed. Then inside of the doors, all the way hard plastic here and there. This is just here like this cover from the microcloud material, but just without plush underneath or something like that. In the vents here, it's interesting. This actually it feels quite nice. Then a steering wheel is also animal-free material. It feels really good. It's like a soft, nice leatherette. And the seats, different ones are available. You get fabric seats. And this is the journey trim, and then you have a mix of fabric. And here this is the microcloud material. This is like a leatherette style, which feels neoprene-like. This is also there. It's also in the extreme trim that you can wipe things clean, like when for kids and dogs and so on, or maybe when you spill some ice cream and so on. Then let's get inside. See here with 189, 6'2". There is still some space left here for my head, no problem. And yeah, it's a cozy seating position. The seat gives away a little bit, let's take it that way. So you feel here and there that everything is built in like a, yeah, I mean, it is also a light vehicle. That's the thing, you know, when you save a lot of extra stuff and so on, the vehicle is light and you feel it, because usually when I sit down in the vehicle, it does not shake, you know what I mean? Steering wheel, up and down, in and out. Yeah, the process here could feel a little bit better maybe, but you can see it's very well adjustable, definitely. And yeah, we already get a feeling or a glimpse of that indeed it does offer a lot of space. And first time we see a panoramic roof. Soon I'll also open that and tell you more. Sun blinds here, not extendable. Yeah, but honestly, yeah, last time we saw one of these in the BMW 1 Series, it wasn't too good either. So yeah, but the interesting thing is it looks kind of similar like the Dacia Duster, but you get some more standard equipment. This is the cockpit overview. Interesting here. Got this structured material right there. And then glove box here. Oh, it's not dampened at all. That is, yeah.
What a surprise.
Yeah, they are gonna have to live with that. Then middle console, there are different armrests available in 3 different heights actually. So I would suppose this is the highest one. Then here integration of the automatic shifting lever if you have the hybrid, otherwise a manual. Then here cup holders. You can also put that out. Then you have like just a larger box in there. Then this one here, more space underneath this armrest. Interesting. It goes a little bit more forward. You standard have always a 10-inch touchscreen right here in the middle. So this is standard. Instrument is something different. Zoom out to that. Once again, these Y form shapes here. And one of my favorite things, high quality clicking sound climate unit. That's cool. So I really appreciate to have that. And in the front, you can also get inductive charging, but that doesn't seem to be cooled. So this will probably overheat, then rather charge with the here with the USB-C chargers. For the phone, you use Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and the base infotainment comes like this, 10-inch. But then as the base, you don't have a car internal GPS, which you don't need anyway. Everyone uses the GPS from the phone most of the time. And then you have this phone holder here. You can just click in your phone here, that you also have it visible. You can also put it somewhere else. And this is here also part of this YouClip system, Yeah, oh, there we go. That's live on Autogefühl, definitely. So here, this is this YouClip system, and you find these clips on different, here, also on this, here on the passenger side, for example, also in the rear. And then you can apply different accessories. It's a very clever system here. Yeah, only that sometimes you use the wipers when you deinstall something like that. Yeah, and then the higher trims will also have a car internal GPS inbuilt. But yeah, as I said, that's not really necessary. Driver POV, once again here, nice steering wheel, good material, and also clicking sounds here for the real buttons at the steering wheel. That's what I appreciate. Then digital instruments here, either in 7-inch or these here, the 10-inch. So they are in the higher trims or optional, and they supply with all the information you need. Actually, you can also switch through different stuff and also switch the views a little bit like that. And then here the main infotainment system, always in 10-inch, as I said. Here, for example, you can activate the seat heating when the engine is running. And you have a basic overview here, for example, of some vehicle functions like that. So yeah, looks actually pretty simple. Most of the time you will use the CarPlay or Android Auto connection anyway. There we go. And then I think it's fine. The climate will also be displayed here, but as I said, you rule it from underneath. And there we go. This is the CarPlay integration. So that looks quite cool and also takes up most of the screen, and the basic functions here remain visible. Inside of the doors here, all the way hard plastic. Yeah, this is where the cost savings also come into place. Then the rear bench, ISOFIX at the outside each. And this middle part here I can actually fold down. And then I have these cup holders here, two different sizes. And at the same time, it's also like reaching through. So it's a ski hatch and an armrest. This is also another cost saving measure, you know. So doing it 2 in 1. It's open as soon as you put this one here down. Seats themselves, they're actually yeah, quite comfy. You can sit here also with tall adults. So here there is good interior space, headroom works, and also leg room. So yeah, you can sit with tall adults on the outside seats, and inside here, yeah, also works. So yes, indeed, this vehicle can house 5 tall adults. So the interior space that is being offered is indeed very good. And this panoramic roof you can of course enjoy then even more so from the rear. It is the very first panoramic roof at Dacia, and it is also, well, the very first one you can actually also open. There we go. So there we are. I mean, here also from the quality of the inside ceiling, this is all, let's say, rough, basic quality. That's the case. So somewhere the price has to come from. But here, the opening is also actually pretty wide. By the way, YouClip system will be available. You've seen maybe in our Dacia Duster reviews here. These are these clips, and then you can add some additional cup holders there, or a torch or something like that. 2 USB-C chargers are there too. Look, and let's directly take a look inside here with the trunk. There is an electric hatch available, either in high trims or an option. And this is also one of the key elements here of the vehicle, this large trunk. And here, this cover here is, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, yeah, there can be more premium top covers here, let's take it that way. So this here is supposed to be 670 liters. And then the width is 1.40 meters, and the length here, and this is also quite substantial, is 1.05 meters or 41 inches. And the height here in the trunk, 73 centimeters or 29 inches. Then you have these splitters here. So there is actually reasonable space here and reasonable space in the rear. There we go. You can take this out here completely as well. And then you have this second split right here. You can put up like that. I could also imagine maybe like a spare tire could fit there, for example. And then we can also fold the seats. Yeah, this playing Tetris here a little bit. Then fold the seats here. Practical. That's a very good release. So that folds not entirely flat, but relatively. And then the length here to the front seats is about 185 or 73 inches. Under the hood, there's some more displacement than with the Dacia Duster. Here, this is the hybrid system, 1.8 liters, so a little bit more displacement than with the Duster. This is a 4-cylinder, and this hybrid system 155 horsepower. Front-wheel drive only, 1.2 kilowatt hours is the battery. And then there's also a mild hybrid engine, turbo petrol, 1.2 liter 3-cylinder. And that one then is the base for the normal turbo petrol, but also the base for the LPG engine. And that very engine is also the base for the 4x4 version. So you can also find it again in our insert or video description or the comment when you want to follow all these engine specs then later on. And this is here the Extreme trim, and also in a different color, here in the silver color. The Extreme trim looks a little bit different, but not too much. Here in this case also we have these copper accentuations there at the side caps, for example. And these here are the 18-inch wheels, so not the biggest 19-inch, but a little bit smaller here with 18-inch, that it's more off-road ready also. Here under the hood we also have the 4x4 engine, for example. But tell me in the comments if you like the dark blue or rather here the silver vehicle. I think the copper accentuations are pretty cool. Here also, for example, with the Dacia logo. So this is then signalizing here this Extreme trim level. But overall, of course, Journey and Extreme are not too different than from the exterior. And here we see the Extreme trim on the interior. So once again, some more copper color accentuations, and here once again the microcloud seats, but here's also the microcloud on the exterior parts where the Journey would have some fabric stuff. And this here, for example, a cup holder of this YouClip system, so you can use this one then on all the YouClips you find in the vehicle. For example, and here this is like a bag hanger, for example, and then you can remove this one and put in a cup holder like this, so this would be possible. By the way, also in the Extreme trim you have these rubber floor mats, so you can easily clean that. It's like a topography silhouette on there, so for the off-road use. And here also see the 6-speed manual gearbox. And when you have this 4x4 version, you also have different off-road driving modes you can put in. And you can also see the different middle console here. This like the lower cup holder thing, whereas in the other one we could see the higher one. Pricing starts just below 25,000 euros. That is really astonishing for a car of that size, actually. And the hybrid will start at around 30,000 euros. So there the price difference to the Duster is only 2,000 euros, whereas in the entry the price difference is about 6,000 euros. But if you could take this one here against the competition model, yeah, this is really way cheaper. And the question is, where does that price come from? Exterior, I think not. Looks great. Interior, you see, of course, the cost savings here and there, where you can also explain the price. And you also have to bear in mind that Dacia usually has a lower crash safety ratings. One main reason for that is that the Euro NCAP system, for example, works at the base assistance systems. When you don't have them all from standard equipment, they rate the car lower, but also the hardware crash safety is a little bit lower than with the competition. Then this question is if it plays a role for you if you drive it mainly in the city or also higher speed on the Autobahn and so on. So tell me in the comments what you think about it, and also about the price positioning, and now compare it to the Dacia Duster or also to some other competition models.